He thought it was just another DWI case, but the judge had a very different conversation in mind. 5 prior convictions, a breath test over twice the legal limit, and one decision that could have sent him to prison for 10 years. Watch closely. This courtroom moment shows how patience can run out.
24 CR 833 is now called. The state of Texas versus Trent Sean Mixon. Is that you? Present with your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive, Mr. Gamma, waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary? He does. Okay. In summary, sir, this indictment alleges 2 parts, 2 paragraphs. What? Paragraph, the first one, alleges that on or about July 1st, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you operated a watercraft while intoxicated. You understand what you were charged? Yes, sir. So, paragraph 2 goes on to allege that you have 2 or more prior convictions of operating motor vehicles while intoxicated, beginning, 30 years ago. And in 94, out of County Court of Law 1, 97, County Court of Law 3, both of Jefferson County, Texas. Then 2013, he's here in the criminal district court, 2 convictions in September 2013, and then another one in 2017 out of the criminal district court here. So you've been a subject to 3rd-degree felony because of prior convictions of DWIs 3 convictions ago. What was your sentence in this last case in December 7, 2017? 8 years ago. The last one you got. Hold that up. It's 17-27669.
I believe it was 6 years.
Dustin's generally right. We have a problem here that needs to be addressed differently than what we've addressed before.
Judge, this case is a little different, even though it is still an intoxicated offense. It's a voting law intoxicated. I know you had the probable cause affidavit, but it was a result of a safety check, and he was brought ashore and eventually arrested driving a jet ski.
Yeah, but it's personally for him and his own health. It was a 0.207 breath test. I mean, that's 2.5 times the legal limit with these prior convictions.
He has addressed this issue. The court has ordered a SRAM device. He's been blown into it religiously. He's never failed that machine.
It's just been going
Historically, yes,
too long of criminality, but it can't be good for your health and also the safety of others when you're operating vehicles or watercraft, right?
He's asking you, it's not good for your health.
I mean, what are you doing to address your alcohol issue? What are you doing? Because I mean, you've been held accountable since '94. You're still misusing, overusing alcohol, right? That's what happened here. So I'm asking, what are you doing to fix this?
Are you still
We
drinking?
don't want you back up.
I'm not drinking.
When did you stop?
I've been stopped for a minute.
Since July of 23. This is when this happened.
Yes, sir.
So that's over that's 2.5 years. Okay, we hadn't had any problems since then.
Well, I think you mentioned the breath test 0.2. I think it was pretty close to that. I thought it was just a little lower, but I don't 0.18. I split in beans, but I think he wanted to make sure he didn't mishear it.
I believe the 0.2 came from their PBT.
Yeah, that's what that.
PBT.
Yeah. But the actual breath test was a 0.18.
He quit drinking as a result of this, Judge, but you can't prove that other than when the court ordered the SRAM device to monitor him, he has not failed that SRAM device at all.
Yeah, and at the jail, he provided 2 breath samples, so 0.185 and 0.180, but that 0.207 was still pretty close. Yeah, because it took a little while to get those subsequent samples drawn, but I mean that's, and it's been 2.5 years. We hadn't had any problems at all.
No.
Right? Yes, sir. Do you go to Alcoholic Anonymous or anything, any programs like that?
I was, and then I have a since.
You work, so he's,
I'm working up there at the PALNG site, so I'm out there.
what do you do?
I'm a former farmer on the tank side.
Hmm.
I got brought in.
Well, you got his responsibilities there, leadership, role model. They're not drinking on the job, are they? All right. What would you do about that? Hold them accountable. What would you do as a foreman? All right. So in this second paragraph, it is alleged that you have 5 prior convictions of operating motor vehicles in public places while intoxicated. Paragraphs 1 and 2 constitute a third-degree felony if convicted. Do you understand what you are charged with here in this indictment? You are facing, God bless you, if convicted, a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes,
I understand. But the agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Yes.
Just want that to sink. Well, that sounds horrifying to me. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years. There would be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. You must also serve at least 10 days in the county jail as a condition of probation. And there will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary, which include not operating a motor vehicle without an interlock device. You always have to have gas. Is there any reason why we need to order any kind of program?
Judge,
There'll be a DWI program that's normal and customary. Anything else we need other than that, we think for him?
Judge, I would just say based on his track record of
2.5 years.
improving that he's not drinking through the device, he's probably past that.
All right. Do you understand here what you're charged with in this case, in these two indictments, in these 2 paragraphs of this indictment, sir? How do you plead to paragraph 1, charging you with operating a watercraft while intoxicated, guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? And those prior convictions here, there are 5 of them from 1994 through 2017 of DWIs, operating motor vehicles while intoxicated. You would understand fully what this alleges, and are these allegations true and correct in paragraph 2, and are you pleading true and correct to those voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
I've shown you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. You've read this or discussed this with your attorney. Are the provisions in paragraph 1 all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence without objection. Without objection, it's admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You read it. You were guilty of the crime charged, and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, so help you God. State, is that all that true? You got to, you can't take a nod. You got to express it out loud. That it is all true.
Yes, sir.
Okay. State's Exhibit 1 is part of the record without. I'm going to follow this agreement. Anything else to add?
Just that Judge, on the 10 days, because he does work at the refinery and he's a foreman, we'd ask the court without him to do that on weekends starting next weekend.
Or you're free on weekends to,
Well,
or have you made arrangements to do it? You're going to have to report on it before 6:00 p.m. each Friday. And then they release you on it before 6:00 Sunday. And you get 2 days credit. And so it's going to be 5 successive weekends.
Yes.
Which I hear is painful. To go in, you leave and you go, I don't want to go back to there. And then you got to do that 5 times. But we're going to accommodate your request so that you can handle your job responsibilities. Most importantly, make sure you do that soberly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, I'm going to make the findings that Mr. Mixon, you are pleading guilty to paragraphs 1 and 2 and true to paragraph 2, constituting a third-degree felony of boating while intoxicated with 2 or more prior DWI operating motor vehicle in public places while intoxicated convictions. This is a third-degree felony. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I now so find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third-degree felony. I, following this agreement, you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Prison for 10 years. But I'm going to suspend that confinement, place you on regular probation for 10 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation that the probation office is going to go over with you, and I have signed. Make sure you understand them fully. You will be held accountable for those. If you fail to follow those, your probation can be revoked, and you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison, which you don't want. There, among other terms and conditions of probation, you must serve 10 days confinement in jail. We will do that. Order that to be done on 5 successive weekends. You must report on or before 6:00 p.m. each Friday for 5 successive weekends. When can you begin that?
16th, which would be 1 week from today.
1 week from today, January 16th of this 2026. You understand what has happened today, sir? Okay, please see a probation officer. Good luck.
That's fine. No, go ahead.
This man walked out on probation today, but one mistake, and he could lose a decade of his life behind bars. Courtrooms don't forget patterns, and judges don't bluff. If you want to see real cases, real consequences, and moments that change lives forever, subscribe now and stay one step ahead of the truth.